We all about to be privy. If we all just subscribed for the streamer, we all just subscribed to the ad.
KARLISSA stepped in. Oh baby, the internet thought Chrisean Rock was about to calm everybody down by showing Junior's at-home therapy setup. But instead, the whole thing turned into a digital courtroom with KARLISSA walking in like the judge, jury, bailiff, and angry Annie combined. One little clip had people saying progress, but KARLISSA looked at that setup and said, absolutely not. Not today, not on this Wi-Fi. Not while streaming equipment is looking more expensive than the therapy conversation. And just like that, what was supposed to look like a sweet mommy moment became a full-blown online investigation with fans zooming in, side-eyeing, and arguing like they had medical degrees from TikTok University. KARLISSA did not just comment. She exploded, then apologized for the anger, then still stood on the concern like a woman who already threw the match and refused to put out the fire. She said people were praising the bare minimum, questioned whether Junior was getting the serious support he needed, and dragged the fan base for cheering instead of asking harder questions. Meanwhile, Chrisean's supporters were screaming that KARLISSA was doing too much, but KARLISSA fired back with the kind of energy that makes the comment section start sweating. Now the drama is bigger than one therapy clip, because this turned into a messy debate about motherhood, accountability, money, streaming, public concern, and whether the internet is helping or enabling. And the craziest part is, KARLISSA tried to calm herself down, but every time somebody said, "It's not your child," she came back swinging harder. So the real question is not just why KARLISSA stepped in, baby, it is what did she see that made her lose it this badly. Part 1. Now let's rewind this whole mess before the internet started acting like a courthouse with Wi-Fi. Because this did not just pop out of nowhere looking brand new and innocent. Chrisean Rock had already been under the microscope for everything involving Junior, and every time she posted him, people split into two loud camps like it was a Zeus reunion seating chart. One side said she was trying, growing, learning, showing her child and letting people see progress instead of hiding everything from the public. The other side said hold on, because every time the camera turns on, the concern turns louder, and this time, that little at-home therapy setup became the spark that lit the whole backyard on fire. Chrisean posted what looked like a therapy-style moment with Junior, and at first, some fans thought the clip might actually help her image because they saw effort, care, and a mother trying to work with her baby. The comments started giving her credit, saying at least she was doing something, at least Junior was being helped, at least people could see movement instead of just hearing rumors. But baby, the internet does not watch anything normally anymore, because within seconds, people were zooming in like FBI interns assigned to a celebrity parenting case. What was supposed to look like a positive little update quickly turned into people asking what kind of equipment that was, who recommended it, and whether this was real therapy or just something thrown together for the camera. That is when KARLISSA stepped in, and when I say stepped in, I mean she came through the screen like somebody had called her name 3 times in the mirror. KARLISSA saw that setup and immediately went from casual scrolling to emotional emergency broadcast, because in her eyes, this was not the kind of moment people should be clapping for without asking questions. She started calling it Fisher Price energy, questioning the equipment, questioning the fan praise, and questioning why everybody was acting like the bare minimum deserved a parade float. And once KARLISSA got going, there was no soft entry, no gentle Annie voice, no calm little let's discuss this. Because she came in swinging like the internet had personally insulted her common sense. The messy part is that KARLISSA did not frame it like random shade just for fun. She framed it like concern wrapped in anger, dipped in sarcasm, and delivered with a blowtorch. She basically said the public needed to stop congratulating every little clip and start asking whether Junior was getting the serious support he deserved. She brought up braces, physical therapy, proper care, and the idea that a child with visible mobility concerns should not become another prop in a social media performance. Now, whether people agreed with her or not, the tension came from the fact that she was not whispering this in a family group chat. She was saying it out loud to the same internet that already treats Chrisean like a permanent trending topic. And that is where the drama got sticky, because Chrisean's supporters were not about to let KARLISSA walk in and snatch the narrative without a fight. They started saying KARLISSA was doing too much, that Junior was not her child, that she had no right to police another mother, and that she always finds a reason to jump into Chrisean's business. But KARLISSA flipped that argument right back around and basically said, "Why would I not care about a child?" That one point made the whole fight deeper, because suddenly it was not just about Chrisean and KARLISSA anymore. It became a bigger debate about when public concern becomes necessary and when it turns into people overstepping for entertainment. Meanwhile, the streaming angle made everything 10 times messier, because KARLISSA was not only questioning the therapy setup, she was also questioning the priorities around it. She pointed at the expensive streaming equipment conversation and compared it to what she felt looked like a low-effort therapy setup. And baby, that comparison hit the timeline like somebody dropped a glass table at a family dinner. People started repeating the idea that the cameras, lights, and streaming tools looked more planned out than the child's support system. And even the people who thought KARLISSA was harsh had to admit that line was designed to travel. It was shady, it was sharp, it was uncomfortable, and exactly the kind of sentence the internet turns into 10,000 comments before lunch. But then came the twist that made the whole thing feel like reality TV with a guilt hangover. Because KARLISSA came back and apologized for how angry she got. She admitted she woke up, reacted too fast, and should have prayed first instead of exploding online like the comment section had personally kicked her door in. That apology could have been the moment where everything cooled down. But of course, this is celebrity drama, so peace lasted about as long as a phone battery on live stream. KARLISSA softened the delivery, but she did not really abandon the concern, which made people even more divided, because some said she was sincere, while others said she knew exactly what she was doing. And honestly, that is what made part 1 of this drama so addictive, because nobody was standing on clean ground. Chrisean's supporters saw a mother being judged no matter what she did, while critics saw a public figure using a sensitive moment in a way that raised more questions than answers. KARLISSA's supporters saw a woman demanding accountability for a child, while her haters saw someone inserting herself into another woman's parenting for attention. So now you had a full-blown internet trial where one clip became the evidence, KARLISSA became the prosecutor, Chrisean became the defendant, and every fan with a keyboard suddenly became a pediatric specialist, family therapist, and moral philosopher. The deeper issue was that Junior has become the center of arguments he never asked to be part of, and that is where the story starts feeling heavier under all the jokes. Every public post about him now gets inspected, debated, defended, and dragged, until the original moment gets buried under people's opinions. Chrisean may have thought she was showing progress, KARLISSA may have thought she was protecting a child, and the fans may have thought they were choosing sides. But the child at the center of it all became the reason everybody suddenly had something to prove. And that is exactly why this drama did not stay small, because the second kids, parenting, money, and public image collide, the internet stops whispering and starts throwing chairs. By the end of the first wave, the setup itself was not even the only issue anymore, because now people were questioning motives, timing, history, and who really had Junior's best interest at heart. KARLISSA said she had offered help before, including serious support, and that added another layer because now the drama had receipts, resentment, and family. When sitting right beside the therapy debate, fans started asking whether Chrisean should accept help, whether KARLISSA should stay out of it, whether the supporters were enabling her, and whether public pressure was the only reason these conversations kept happening. So what started as one at-home therapy clip turned into a full episode of messy accountability theater, and baby, the curtain had barely opened. By the time KARLISSA's first rant started circulating, the internet had already turned the therapy clip into a full-blown courtroom exhibit, and baby, the jury was not quiet. Drama pages grabbed the moment, repost accounts started slicing it into bite-sized chaos, and every comment section looked like a family reunion where nobody likes each other. One side was screaming that KARLISSA finally said what other people were scared to say, while the other side was yelling that she needed to stop acting like Chrisean's shadow with a ring light. It was messy, loud, emotional, and exactly the kind of social media storm that makes everybody pretend they came for facts when they really came for fireworks. Then the memes started doing what memes always do, taking a serious situation and the consequences could stretch way past one viral day, because now every future post involving Junior is going to be watched even harder. If Chrisean shows therapy again, people will compare it to what KARLISSA said and ask whether anything changed if she does not show anything. Critics will say she went quiet because the questions got too real if KARLISSA comments again. People will accuse her of obsession, but if she says nothing, others will ask why she stopped after making such a big scene. That is the trap of public parenting drama. Once the internet becomes a witness, it starts demanding updates like it paid tuition. What made the whole situation even heavier was KARLISSA saying she had tried to help before and claimed she had offered serious support. That detail turned the argument from random internet shade into something that sounded like a family door had been knocked on, slammed, and knocked on again until everybody gave up. Whether viewers believed every word or questioned the timing, that claim changed the emotional temperature because now the story was not only about what Chrisean showed, it was about what help may have been refused, ignored, or complicated by pride. And when pride gets mixed with parenting, the internet starts acting like Judgment Day has a comment section. By the end, the biggest revelation was not even about the therapy setup itself. It was about how quickly a child's care can become a public battlefield when fame, fandom, and family grudges collide. KARLISSA may have stepped in claiming concern, Chrisean may have posted the clip hoping to show effort, and fans may have chosen sides thinking they were protecting someone. But the whole situation exposed a deeper problem. Everybody wants to be right, everybody wants to be heard, and everybody wants to say they care. But caring starts to look strange when it turns into a spectacle. And that is where the season finale twist lands, because the next move will reveal whether this pressure creates real change or just another viral war dressed up as concern. Call to action you'll already know. Do not sit here acting quiet after watching this whole internet custody court turn into a Zeus reunion with therapy equipment, streaming accusations, any rage, fan wars, and a comment section doing backflips in confusion. Drop your thoughts below and tell me if KARLISSA was really stepping in out of concern, or if this was another case of family drama wearing a superhero cape and calling itself accountability. And while you're at it, smash that like button like it owes you money, child support, and an apology in writing, because this story was not just messy, it was emotional, uncomfortable, and louder than a backstage fight with microphones still. On Dot and Baby, if you are new over here, go ahead and subscribe to Secret Scoop before the next chapter pulls up in a wig, a rope, and a fresh set of receipts. Because with Chrisean, KARLISSA, Junior, the fanbase, and the whole internet watching every move like it is a Netflix finale, you already know this story is not going to stay calm for long. Comment who you think was right, who went too far, and who needs to log off before the Wi-Fi starts filing complaints. This is Secret Scoop, where the drama gets decoded, the mess gets served hot, and the truth always walks in with heels clicking.